If you sometimes struggle to get dinner on the table after a busy day, cube steaks in your Instant Pot are a great solution. Now, cube steaks are a very budget-friendly option, but they can kind of turn out tough sometimes. Using the Instant Pot guarantees they will be tender and delicious every time. And this recipe features a rich mushroom gravy that tastes like it's simmered all day. So let's get started. We start with some soups. We need both beef consomme and cream of mushroom soup, also some flour, garlic powder, salt and pepper, and onion, and some mushrooms and cube steak. Now, a minimum is about 8 ounces of mushrooms. I bought a 16-ounce pack, and I'll show you how I deal with that. So we start by just prepping the onion by chopping it up a little bit. What's nice about this is because I bought already sliced mushrooms, this is the only vegetable I have to actually chop up. So I'll add this chopped onion to a bowl. And then to the bowl, I'm going to add both of those cans of soup. That's the beef consomme, which is just a thick beef broth, as well as the cream of mushroom soup. Let's mix those together and just get it kind of into a fairly smooth mixture. And then we'll add the mushrooms. Like I said, this recipe only calls for 8 ounces of mushrooms. I bought extra, so I added about half of them to this bowl. It's a matter of like how much can the soup actually cover? How much can you mix into this? Part of the limiting factor was the size of my bowl, but it's also just how much liquid you can put on those mushrooms. So then I'll set that aside and set up my bowl for coating the cube steak. Take the dry ingredients, mix them all together, and just start dipping those cube steaks into that flour mixture. All you want on them is just a fairly thin coating of the flour. You can see when I got toward the end, I just kind of started scooping the flour on top and then flipping it. Any way you choose to do this, it works just fine, but just keep in mind it's a thin layer. It doesn't have to be this thick coating. And once those are all set to go, then we can start cooking. So you heat up the Instant Pot on saute with a little bit of oil, and then because of their size, I'm doing these cube steaks one at a time. Just add in the cube steak, brown it on one side, flip it over, brown it on the other. It takes about a minute or two per side, and then continue with the next one. If your steaks are smaller, you can certainly fit more than one in at a time. This is just how the cube steaks were sized in the package that I bought today. And by the way, this is about 2 pounds total of cube steak, maybe a little bit less. So just to give you a sense of what that looks like. Then we're going to deglaze the pot. And so you can add a little bit of water or broth to that pot and heat it up. I just put some water in that beef consomme can and basically made broth. And then as it heats up, you can easily scrape off all those brown bits from the bottom of the pot. The browned bits are called fond, F-O-N-D, and just think of them as flavor. You want all this flavor to get scraped up so that it gets mixed into your sauce, which is actually a gravy, and it just adds a ton of rich flavor to that gravy, and you don't want to miss out on that. Then we're going to add the browned steaks back into the pot and start adding those mushrooms. So I'm going to take the rest of my mushrooms first that did not get added to the soups, and I'll put those in first because I just decided I want all 16 ounces of these mushrooms today. I'm really in a mushroom mood. And then on top of this, I will add the soup mixture with, of course, the rest of the mushrooms added in. Once you have this added, you just have to add the top and seal the Instant Pot. Set the cycle to 20 minutes and let it do its thing. In the meantime, while it's cooking, at any point during the cooking cycle, I like to collect the leftover flour. Now, I did measure how much flour I was using at the outset. It was a half a cup. And then, of course, a little bit ended up coating those steaks, but now that's in the pot, and I'm going to collect the rest of it, add some water to it, and form a slurry. This is how I like to thicken my gravy when this is all done. Then after the Instant Pot has finished its cycle, it has naturally released all of its pressure, I am going to take off the top, remove those steaks, and thicken my gravy. All you do is add in that flour and water mixture and give it a nice stir. And as you can see, it very quickly starts to thicken. As long as the Instant Pot is on the keep warm setting, this should be enough warmth. It's like just below the simmering point usually. That should be enough to activate that flour and thicken that mixture into a nice and deliciously flavorful gravy. And once you have that all thickened, this is ready to go. Just add it to your plate. I am having this on egg noodles today. This is also very delightful on mashed potatoes, so pick whichever is your favorite. But I do hope you give this a try, because if you do, I know you'll love it. Enjoy.